Alright, in this video I wanted to talk about an item that was released a few weeks back. I picked it up pretty immediately. It's in the back to school limited time shop. I don't know how much longer this shop will be around, but I wanted to kind of show off where it's at. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's try again. There we go. Alright, so basically it's going to be this whack to school locker. It's a Z token item. Basically, it was advertised as more of a Ranger tomb, but it's not really that. Uh, it's basically for full offensive Rangers with multiple weapon-based skill options in it. The only bad thing is it's kind of cheesy. Some people don't like the cheesy items that Adventure Quest is known for. This is essentially what it looks like. But basically, you're like opening the locker to give you the options. I think this would be a cool item to clone in the future. If you win a dev ticket for the summer donation contest, where you can maybe get some better art out of it, maybe a different element or whatever. Want to start off by showing off the probably the least impactful um, item here, and then let's go ahead and let's see. Basically, you click on the locker. So I'm going to start off with this one, the Moglin Pranksters. It charges some hit points, but it does a hit point regen. It's awfully funny that Tavern made a bunch of GBI and discussion about you can't pay the same thing that you're replenishing type idea, and yet staff doubled down and made more of it, kind of thumbing their nose to the idea. But basically, this is like hit point and SP regen, as you're going to see here. So you'll basically regen health and SP. And so you can basically do this. It's costing a turn. I don't really see a massive use for this. I don't really understand what the point of it is, to be honest with you. But the other two skills are very, very good. I did want to actually test this idea with the Wing Weaver pet on a Charisma build, because it's doing MP and SP regen, to see how the SP regen stacks with this. And I'll test that one day to see if that's even worthwhile, but basically can just sit here and do this, and then let's see. I'm just gonna do this a couple times and see what kind of, after doing this a few times, see what kind of SP heal we get. So I'm at 847, went up to 935 for the 817, 915. Yeah, it's not really doing a whole hell of a lot, to be honest with you. Um, that's the only bad part about the weapon, unless you count the art. Um, I do want to show off the other two skills. So all these two are going to be weapon based. So this skill here was going to do two different poisons. It's going to do a harm poison and a water poison, and then it also will do a couple of disease effects. So basically, both disease effects are 0 because the water on this monster is negative. Alright, so let's do this one more time, see what we get. Alright, so we got 35 on one and 36 on the other. I think this scales with water also. And then as you can see, you have the two poisons there. Let's go ahead and see if I can alter his water element again. So it's now 110. let's just actually, let's just siphon real quick. All right, so what does water again? 110. So I believe it will scale with water. So let's see what happens this time. So instead of 35 and 36, we have 155 on each one. So it does scale with water. So basically, the disease effect will affect the SP region of the monster. So like, they won't be able to use their SP attack. And as you can see, you have the harm poison that will heal equal to the damage dealt, and then you have the water poison there. All right, so since it is a poison, so I would want to see how quickly Void Forged Imbue would work. And what I've been able to find, I guess my internet connection is running really fucking slow right now. But what I've been able to find is basically if you try to use an imbue, let's see what happens here. So the shield didn't really ignite. I think it resisted some poisons there. Let's try again. Just go to Combat Practice Trainer just to see. Pretty much we'll get guaranteed inflictions just to see what will happen here. Alright, so Sneak Strike, and then we'll go ahead and do that skill. So it lit up, but I think it's going to die off after this turn. Yeah, so you'll be able to manage it with celerity. To get void. So I know we have some items that don't require celerity anymore. Sneak Strike is not. So the second time it actually took there. Sneak Strike, it does not actually cost very much SP, to be honest with you. Let's see what the cost is here. 231. That's not too bad. And then, like, you'll be able to see, these are all weapon based, so this will be void. And then again, because it's weapon based, if you remember, Wing Weaver armor actually locks your attacks in full offensive mode. So this is no longer going to be water, it'll be wind. So Trickster armor does the same thing. And that'll actually help you with your Sneak Strike because it's enhanced damage. And so it works pretty well. You can get celerity. So you're spending quite a bit of SP up front. And that's okay, and I'll show you why here shortly. So this monster has 50% to win. So let's go ahead and go this route. And then, of course, the disease we saw is scales on water. So basically, with that first skill, you have the ability to kind of kill off the monster's ability to heal SP and do some of the monsters anyway that regenerate SP. Yeah, my internet connection must be really slow right now. Or there's something else going on. But I wanted to show off what I think is the two my two favorite features. Um, Starting off with, let's see, I'm in Wing or Wish. I'm in Wing. So um, the Ninja Countermeasures is a panic skill, and it's a 3-hit skill, and it's different than other panics. It actually will inflict a panic per hit, and that's a huge, um, meaningful um, caveat because panic is individually rolled, and so instead of doing a single line of panic like every other item in the game, this can do up to 3, and so this can stack pretty quickly. So it's also weapon based, as you can see. Now this scales with water also, so we were able to get down to 68%. And what's even nicer, if you hop over to Trickster Armor and you have your Celerity skill enabled, it will actually do it twice. So here we go there, and then one of them missed there. Do it again. And then we'll have multiple instances here. So it's a way to inflict panic, and in that way, you can actually probably use this weapon on like your bow using ranger, especially if you were wanting to run like phase or something like that. If you had any panic eater skills or whatnot. Let's see here. I think this guy's a panic eating heal spell, I think. Yeah, so as you can see, it took all that panic off. So, and it, excuse me, it basically gets range stats. So they work very well together. Um, um, a pretty powerful heal. Now, my favorite feature, probably, I don't know if it's my favorite or the panic thing's my favorite, but this weapon is basically just like Nickel Clad. Nickel Clad, if you remember, heals hit points and SP, and it has a feature where if like your hit points is above 80%, then it'll just do only SP, and vice versa. If your SP is above 80%, it'll just do hit points. But this guy doesn't have the hit point portion, it's just SP. And it has that inbuilt special proc where it'll boost the SP heal. So what I'm going to try to do, what's neat about this is if my SP is too low, let's show it right here. So I need 392 SP to fire off the Celerity, but I don't have it here. Now, if I'm able to heal enough SP during the middle of the attack, it'll actually trigger it. It'll take it. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get it to showcase that. So we're at 261, and as you could see, it went above the amount needed, and then it triggered the Celerity. I'm not for sure. I'll have to look at the battle log to see how much I healed there, but it seemed like quite a bit. I think the actual proc happened at that time. So I'm at 409, and I went up to 798 there. So You start pushing at almost 400 there, 758. That time it was didn't proc 832 up to 1068, 66. When this thing procs, it's quite a bit of SP, and it's a high rate too, somewhat similar to Nickelclad. I think Nickelclad's range is a 40% proc. I don't remember the exact proc on this one, but it's up there. It's similar. This guy hits like a truck. I don't have a windshield on me. But basically, you're going to outheal in Trickster armor. You're going to outheal the. This guy may kill me. You're going to outheal the ability to eat into your SP with this weapon. It's not going to heal as well as Infinita's staff. Some people feel like that may one day get fixed. I personally don't see it ever happening. But this item right here is a quote unquote for the balanced terrorists that want to shame people for using certain things. More quote unquote ethical. But as you can see, basically especially when you include the 98 to turn regen, you're essentially always going to have the SP. The proc rate's high enough where you don't have to worry about it. You're basically getting 2 turns to try to get it to really proc. Let's see, I'm going to try to do Sneak Strike both turns and see what happens. So just that right there was enough for Void Forged, as you could see. It's basically paying for the imbue. And I apologize for my internet connection. I am at work and we are in the middle of nowhere. And my internet connection's been relatively fine up until I started doing this video, so go figure. Let's do this one more time. So Sneak Strike, and then let's see if I can get enough. Yeah, as you can see, and then you can imbue with it. And then you're basically, you're not even missing the SP. And that's why I think this weapon is an S tier for full offensive rangers. I could even see, like I said, bow users using it. I think that the weapon-based skill is probably more handy with like Trickster and Wingweaver with those Ellie locked things that they have. But as you can see, it's pretty strong damage. Got all these like effects and stuff that's going on. So basically, you're almost always going to end up with more SP using Trickster. I find myself using Trickster more than Wingweaver or Wishweaver on this build. It's just a damage powerhouse. And then the Footlocker weapon gives so much versatility. You get your panic skill, if you need to play a little defensive, you've got even like the SP disease that's still playing some defensive. You've got the SP heal, and then the poisons, which can help fuel um, Void Forge, which is then becoming more offensive. So all in all, it's sort of like a an army Swiss knife for the full offensive ranger. I think it's worth the pickup, even if I think it's worth the pickup if you don't want to wait till Black Friday. But those with the painting, of course, I think at that time, if you have a full offensive ranger, it's a must-have item. I think it will serve your character very well.